Hey there guys, welcome back to another episode of Monster Super League. It's your boy Odin, and today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Water Miho that is available for free, and everybody should be able to attain her from doing the storyline. All you got to do is you got to go to the Miho here at the front of the ship and complete Story Stage 3. Once you complete Story Stage 3 you'll be able to be getting a Water Miho for free. Water Miho is actually really good. She is essentially a water version of the Fire Draka. She is a 5-star. Originally, she was meant to have 20% morale boost, but I noticed that they essentially made a correction on the announcement, and they essentially changed it to 15% of allies morale boost, which is slightly weaker than the Fire Draka, and she does have only 90% puncture, but it should still be very good and still viable, just as good as the Fire Draka. So make sure you guys pick her up. She's actually very good right now. You can use her to clear the entire storyline with relatively good ease. And you can also use her to clear the Tower of Chaos, which of course you guys will know will give you plenty of extra monthly bonuses, such as Astro Gems, free heroic or heroic golden or heroic egg. So essentially a free Nat 5. You'll also be able to pick up a Holy Gleam and a ton of other stuff. So definitely make sure to pick her up and build her up. And I also wanted to just essentially show a little bit of what she can do and how she functions at Evo 1 and Evo 2, which is essentially the two main, levels at which most of you guys will be able to use her. I am going to be feeding this one here into my Dark One later after this video. But I figured for now I will go ahead and make a little review of her. As you guys will see, I am leaving her enhancements at 0, not just because I don't have any essence to do it, but just because I'm also going to be feeding her into the Dark One, and because I want to make sure that when I do show this, there are no extra added enhancements so that any new player can see how she will function regardless of how much investment you have into her. And once you guys do put a little bit of investment into her, she will do really well. And I'm sure you guys will have better setups or build something comparable to what I have here on my screen. So with that said, the skills and the books are at 0. The skills can be modified a little bit up and improved. The puncture can go up to 100% with an extra 20% damage, and then the morale boost can go up with an extra 25% damage increase. So very good for her skill books. I think it would have been nice for them to add an extra 5% to the morale boost so she would become even with the Fire Draka, but they decided to keep her a little bit lower. I will say that she has comparable stats to the Fire Draka at Evo 3 as well, so definitely make sure to pick up your Super Gleams from the World Boss. Just, do a bunch of different, turns at the World Boss, and in about 2 or 3 months, you guys should be able to pick up a Super Gleam to get her to Evo 3. You will need 3 of them, but you won't necessarily need to, get her to Evo 3 right away. Let me go ahead and put this on Do Not Disturb. But yeah, so she will be totally fine the way she is without too much investment, and Evo 2 is perfectly viable. So that said, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what I have on her. I did take a couple of gems from other Astromon to show her, and I am going to be building her an attack crit damage, and we're going to start showing her off on the Tower of Chaos. So this first gem that I have here is crit damage, crit rate plus 22, attack, defense 13, and a little bit of resist. And if you guys will notice my resist there, I'm sitting at exactly 50% resist, which is really good for a Evo 2 Mon, and it'll allow you to resist stuns, etc. in the Tower of Chaos. The second gem that I have here is an attack gem with defense, attack, crit damage, and 27% crit rate. I know that these gems are very hard to find, but I will show you guys a little tip that will help you boost your damage for her as well. So my last gem here is an attack gem, crit rate 27, crit damage 7, defense 7.5, and resist 6%. So really quickly, I guess when it comes to gem farming, guys, you can easily pick up gems in Slumbering City, and that will give you some ruin type gems that you guys can use towards building up your mons. So if you guys look over here on the Slumbering City stage, you'll be able to pick on the gems, and this stage drops 3 to 4 star gems that are ruin type. And I'm telling you right now, guys, for your beginner players, you want to farm that stage as much as possible. So the reason why I say that is because a ruin set gem set is probably the best set that you can pick up for your brand new Water Miho, and they're actually not very hard to farm either. So I'm going to show you guys here. So I did the story for about 100 runs earlier this morning, and I picked up this crit gem here. It's 37% at level 12, but it has resist and 15% crit rate. So even though it's not a perfect, 6-star gem or 7% giving you a major boost, you can pick up a 4-star gem that has 4 substats, and when you do level it up, it'll give you some pretty good substats. And mainly what you're looking for is that crit rate and that crit damage. Plus the bonus that you will get from that crit damage set, an extra 40%, will basically almost be the equivalent of running a broken set 6-star gem set. So what I mean by that is you will essentially be getting the same amount of damage that you would running 6-star gems on a broken set with this triple 4-star gem set of Ruin. So definitely make sure you guys grind out that stage. It's very, very good. And it's also super easy, and you can definitely find like some really good gems from that. So let me go ahead and show you guys here a couple other ones that I found. For example, this morning I also found this one, which is an HP, crit rate, attack, crit damage, and defense. And that was literally in about like 25 runs. So don't like sleep on that Slumbering City stage, guys. Like I'm telling you guys, like farm that stage. If you picked up a Water Miho, you should be running the heck out of that stage to pick up some of these nice little Ruin gems from that stage. And they're very easy to find. You can run it 100 times, 50 times, 200 times, and I guarantee you will find at least 2 or 3 gems with 4 substats, with a crit rate or crit damage or some defense or HP, and you can use those to substitute instead of having to farm the Golems dungeon, which you may or may not get good gems, and you may waste 600, 800, 900, 1000 energy, and it'll be not really good for you. So definitely make sure to run that stage, guys. It's really, really easy. So as you guys can see, mine is at Evo 1 right now. I am going to send her to Evo 2. So right now at Evo 1, she's looking at 7,300 attack, 3,800 defense, and 32,000 HP, which should be more than enough to carry you through the story. But I do want to show her in the Tower of Chaos, a little bit of Arena, etc. So I am going to go ahead and make her Evo 2. So we'll go ahead and do that. And we'll check out her stats here at Evo 2 and then again at Evo 3. So you guys would have noticed that I'm also using the Arthur Trinket set. You do not need to run that set. You can actually run any other set that you guys have. But the Arthur Trinket set is essentially the best for damage. And since she is going to be used for damage, it makes sense for me to use her and show her at this level. Because I guarantee you most of you guys should be able to pick up these gems and these trinkets over time. Monster Super League is not a game that you want to just go all out and you think that you can get to the end within like a matter of like weeks. But I will say this, by having this Midsummer Miho, you can exponentially increase your level of progress in this game because she is essentially a free fire Draka that you're getting. So and usually to get a fire Draka, you need to sacrifice 3 Nat 5s. But in this case, you do not need to. You will essentially just pick her up for free just by doing that little quest line. Now, if you're joining the game afterwards, don't feel like you missed out. You can substitute for her and just pick up a Fire Draka later on. So just save 3 Nat 5s and hope that you roll a Fire Draka from the Rebirth table once the table is out. But for now, essentially, you're just going to be, if you do happen to have her, get her up to Evo 2 and just start working on her and building her up and try finding some of those ruined gem sets from the Slumbering City. So, alright, so her stats at Evo 2 are actually pretty solid. She's at 8,800 attack, 4,300 defense, and 36,000 HP. And I think that's more than perfectly viable to survive Tower of Chaos from level 1 through 100. And I will go ahead and run through those here in a minute. So if you were to get her to Evo 3, you should be looking at 42,000 HP, 10,800 attack or so, and then almost 5,000 defense. So really good stats for her, I think. And she is pretty solid for a lot of the story and the content and whatnot. So, okay, so without that, now that is said, I'm going a little bit fast here, guys. We're going to go ahead and do the Tower of Chaos. I'm going to show you guys a really quick and easy team. This is my really speed run team, but I'm going to show you guys another team that actually works pretty well. You guys can definitely strive to build this team. It's really, really easy. I'm going to be using some not really well geared up mons as well to make sure that, you guys are essentially the same level as me. And I essentially am just going to show you guys really quickly what I have on these mons. So I'm going to use the Cura for the lead because she has attack down, which will be really, really helpful. And she also boosts a little bit of SP on her 3-star skill, and then she also provides you with a shield, which will come in handy against wood type bosses and bosses that essentially heal themselves on turn. I think that she should be more than capable of boosting up your water Miho to deal some pretty decent damage. Plus the leader skill is like I said, attack down, so it should help out your team very, very well. Alright, so let's go ahead and find the Water Miho, which should be somewhere around here. Here she is. And then we're going to also pick, let's see, let's pick a Mon with defense down. You know what, I do have a Wood Miho that I have not used in forever, so we'll go ahead and use her as well. And so this should be a pretty good showcase for you guys as well to what free teams you can use to clear the entire Tower of Chaos, or at least up to level 100, and this should be more than capable of doing that. So, alright, let's also pick up another nuker, I think. And what, I don't want to make it too difficult, but I would say the really good nuker is the Firecracken. So let's go ahead and use her. That way we have one of every type here, fire, water, and wood. And mine is skill booked, so definitely make sure you skill book her. She's actually really good. The Firecracken's like arguably the best damage for a 3-star Mon because of that Predator skill. So, and she also has stun on the 5-star skill, which would be very, very helpful for the Tower of Chaos. So, alright, with that said, I'm just going to shut up and I'll let you guys go through levels 10 through 100 of Tower of Chaos. I'll catch you guys in a little bit. Alright guys, as you can see, we've made it to level 100 here, and we're going to go ahead and try and see what we can do with this team using the Water Miho. I essentially decided to just skip through most of the 100 levels of the Tower of Chaos, but I did do everything on auto mode, and this team survived all the way here with no problems. However, I will say that I had to essentially stop the video here and do this manually because I did notice that the team died essentially at level 100. So at least you guys know that you can use this exact same team that I'm showing here to make it all the way to level 100. Of course, you guys are going to have to work on a couple of different gem builds because, as you guys know, my Wood Miho has a siphon set on her, which is why she's hitting so hard. And then also the Fire Kraken is also using a Ruin set, so you know that is another reason why she's hitting so hard as well. So, but anyways, that said, let me go ahead and see if I can lower the volume just a little bit because it's still really high for me. All right, much better. And hopefully this manual mode, I guess, of this level should get us through to the end. But pretty easy, I would say. We're going to go ahead and just heal up, and we're going to see how much damage look at that, one-shotted. Very nice. Alright, so I probably should have saved that for this turn, but we're going to go see if maybe the fire... Oh, wow, that was perfect. Look at that team, guys. This is probably one of the best teams that you could, you know, make up as a new player. And like I said, you guys can't go wrong with just, you know, building some of the mons that I tell you. If you guys watched my best Nat 3 Astromon video, you will notice that you know, the Fire Kraken was on that list, the Wood Miho is on that list, and so is I don't think I put the Cura on there, but as you guys can see, the Fire Kraken is perfectly viable, and we made it through that with relatively you know, ease, I should say. So it's very easy. So there you go, guys. There's an easy way to get a free Nat 5 every single month just by building those Astromons, building them, like I said, and you know, just start by farming out, you know, Slumbering City, pick up all those Ruin gems that have like 4 substats, and just build them up, and you guys can definitely make it there to at least level 100 of Tower of Chaos. I'm sure I could do the rest of it probably by manual mode, but that'll take too long, so I'm not going to do that. But I am going to go ahead and try her out in the arenas and show you guys how she can work in these teams. So let's go ahead and pick her up. I'll use the Fire Draka since she is one of my better mons to you know, have as a leader. So let me go ahead and find out where the Water Miho is, and I'm pretty sure I just passed her. There she is, and we'll give this team a try. But I will say that she does do pretty well. I mean, just judging by the fact that she could clear most of Tower of Chaos, you know, along with other good damage dealers. If you pair her up properly, correctly, I think it's perfectly viable. So pretty good. So there we go, 29,000. So that's a pretty solid hit, I think, for a Evo 2, seeing as how Draka is Evo 3 and she hit for 33,000, and the Water Miho hit for 29,000. So perfectly viable team to use. Of course, I am having a bit of a insane team here, so I mean, I know a lot of you guys are not going to be able to build this team, but it should show you at least a pretty comparable team that you guys could build, and essentially just showcasing what she can do. So there we go. Yeah, I'd say that she's hitting pretty good, at least for just a little bit of SP fill for your team, and nuking type quality. She's definitely a go-to mon to use for sure. I could keep on doing this all day, you know, with just the same teams, but we'll give her a little bit of a tryout here so you guys can kind of see how much she's hitting for, and I'll try to, you know, pick out a couple different teams that may be a little bit harder as well. But I also don't want the video to drag on too long. Essentially just wanted to show you guys that she is viable, and also to show you guys that, you know, you guys can build her in a proper way that works for you and your team. So a little bit squishy, I think, on a crit damage attack, but I will say that this team is also very stacked. So, and that's just the nature of arenas nowadays. It's very you know, difficult to find a good working team, just because arenas is just a little bit unbalanced right now, and it's been unbalanced like this actually for a couple of years now. I'm gonna say like 2 or 3 years. It's very like whale based, like you really gotta have like, you know, a certain amount of mons to be able to do it. Like, you know, you either need a light Yuki or you need a dark Yuki. You gotta build your dark Krakens, you know, super evolve them. If you have Hanas, you can use the Hanas. You know, there's a bunch of different other teams that you guys can use, but I would say that the Water Miho right now is definitely proven to be a pretty exceptional mon, just for the utility of the fact that she can give you that 15% SP boost, as well as doing some pretty decent amount of damage. So, you know, there you go. That was a 40,000 attack there. Just the same amount of damage that my Fire Draka is doing on the same setup, attack, crit damage. So, as you guys can see, if you have an Evo 2, she can still rock your world, and she's very, very usable. So don't sleep on her. And yeah, let's go see if I can check out her attack. Look at that, nuked, 517,000 damage. So very, very worth it to build Astromon. And I hope that you guys pick her up during this event, because she will definitely help you out heavily in your team setups and your team compositions at this point in time. So I did get the login ticket today, so I'm going to go ahead and use a couple of those, or use that ticket, as well as doing a couple bit more summons. While I have you guys here, since I do want to kind of like, you know, go over, or at least pick up a couple more copies of her, because she is very, very good. And if you guys have some extra gems laying around, I definitely recommend you guys to blow them all on this banner. But yeah, so also guys, I forgot to mention the bingo. Make sure you guys log in every day, and all you need to do is log in for about like 2 hours or so, 2.5 hours, to collect all the rewards. And then when you come in here, you'll get, you know, all of the rewards as well, and you get this additional bonus card, which gives you a free Nat 4. You can use that to pick, you know, a Water Cura, Fire Cura, Wood Hana, for example. Astromon that are very, very useful and handy for you. If you guys log in every day for 2.5 hours, on the 7th day, you'll get a free Nat 5 as well. So a very good system to you know, or not a good system, but a good reward for logging in for 7 days, you know, so it's very good. This is the Astromon selection card that you'll get from today's reward, but there is a ton of other stuff. So let me go ahead and open up this egg while I have you guys here, and see if we get any luck. And a fire Enkidu, so horrible, but that's okay. I also do have 11 of these eggs, so let's go ahead and crack these guys up. But overall, guys, my thoughts and opinions on the Water Miho is that she is very, very good. I definitely recommend you guys to build her. Don't sleep on her. She's really, really good. And I definitely think that she's not as difficult to build as a lot of people would think. I know I am showing her as attack crit damage, but attack crit rate works just as fine. Or if you have a ruin set and you can make it all the way to, like, you know, 75 or 80% crit rate, just go triple attack on her. That's more than viable. If you find she's dying very easily, you can also do HP attack, or defense attack is actually my preferred method. Whenever I'm building an Astromon, I find them that they're dying really heavily. It's not always health that helps you survive, it's actually the defense, because the defense reduces the amount of damage you take versus the HP, which just gives you a bigger pool so that you can take a bigger hit. But like, again, you know, defense definitely a priority instead of HP, as damage reduction plays a huge part in this game. So definitely make sure that you guys use that there. I could show you guys her, I guess, in the dragon dungeon as well. And so let's go ahead and try her out. This is Golem or Dragon's B10, and let me see which one I want to get rid of here. I do know I was using a Draka just as a filler, and I think it's this one. Yep. So let's go ahead and remove her, and let's bring in the Water Miho and see how much damage she can do at Evo 2 on Dragon's B10. So why not? You know, if I'm going all out and showing you guys, you know, through the Tower of Chaos, may as well show you guys how she works here. So let's go ahead and focus in on the light purse. And she's already full. Of course, I do have Dark Bass, which is just going to give me that nice... Oh, look at that. Beautiful. The Dark Bass is just going to soak in some damage. You know, she's just there to, you know, help out the team survive. So, you know. But as you guys can see, I already made it to the boss. And we are doing fairly well. So the Miho, if you look at her damage right now, she just out-damaged the other ones. She did just get... what do you call it? Thirst, but I was able to refill that up, so let's go ahead and use her damage again one more time. So pretty good. That was an extra 300,000 damage. And I know I do have, you know, 2 Drakas on this team and Dark Bast, but essentially you can use another SP filler as long as you have a shield. So somebody like the Light Hana or the Dark Cupid is honestly the best tank for Dragon's B10. It's an easy way to get a 6-star gem every week at the end of the week. Since all of you guys should be running the story mode anyways for Astromon and for Astro Gems, you should definitely be able to, you know, pick up a ton of sigils during the week and then just blow them in the dragons. And, you know, as you guys saw that there, she did a pretty decent amount of damage, and I basically made it through that with relatively nice ease. I mean, of course, I was using a shielder and a dark tank, but you guys can use, you know, pretty much any other Astromon that you guys have. Do I want to reset for the defense dungeon? Let's go ahead and do it. Alright, so instead of bringing in this Fire Draka, we'll bring in the Water Miho as well. So we'll try her out in the Dark, what's his name, Benjamin Dimensional Defense Dungeon. Alright, so this should be pretty good. Let's give this a try. I probably could have just done auto. My 2 Drakas should be more than capable of clearing out this dungeon, but we'll just go ahead and do this here. And I hope that you guys were able to stick through most of this video. I know that it is a little lengthier than usual. I tried to skip as much of it as I could, but I also thought that there was a lot of good things to talk about, and a couple different things that I definitely wanted to discuss and go over, so here you are. Alright, so far, no problems whatsoever. This team is perfectly viable. It's just a nuking team. As long as your Astromon have a decent amount of defense, like I said, and a decent amount of health, you should be more than fine to survive this. Dimensional Defense Rift is actually not hard at all. The biggest thing that you really honestly got to worry about, and look at that crazy one-shot nuke there. Honestly, the only thing you really need to worry about is having the proper amount of attack and defense. And as long as you guys have like full out like max trinkets, like any 6-star trinket will be more than enough. And yes, there are better trinkets to use than others. For example, the glowing trinket is going to give you the most amount of attack, etc. I think that you guys should be more than fine to, you know, pick up a couple 6-star gems here and there, get them to level 15, and you should be able to build up your Evo 2 Water Miho with relatively good ease, and it should be, you know, a really nice way to, you know, kickstart your day. Awesome, two-dimensional star stones from that one, and the soul stone. These days, I haven't really built the Light Poseidon. I've only just been kind of collecting his stones and using him as food for my fire one. So, but I did complete my 2nd Fire Poseidon last week, so I was pretty excited about that. And then I ran out of gleams for the Mikos. So, but anyways, guys, I think that's it for this video. As you guys can see, she is pretty nice. You can definitely enhance her as well. And try her out in different places, but I think that she's definitely a good Astromon to build, very good nuker, and she can definitely help you progress tremendously in story. I guarantee you right now, if I were to take her into any story mode, she'll be able to clear that with like no problem whatsoever. And if you guys use that team that I showed you guys for Tower of Chaos, you should be able to clear anything in this game with no problem whatsoever. So alright guys, that's it for this video. Make sure you leave a like and comment or subscribe to my channel if you're new, and be on the lookout for a little bit more content. I will be uploading the Dimensional Defense boss for today a little bit later on in the evening, so be on the lookout for that video as well, in which I'll use both of my Dark Evo 3 Mihos to showcase her damage potential in attacks level number 2 and 3. But it is light variant, so I was right yesterday, and I'm very excited to try out her damage. And that's it, guys. I'll see you all on the next video. Peace.